Hey, Kyle Wilson here. Welcome to the channel. And in this video, we'll be talking about if you are brand new to VeVe, or maybe you've been on VeVe for a little bit and you're just not sure what to do in the app and how to make money on VeVe. We're going to be talking all about that and how to build your portfolio and get rich on VeVe. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive into the video. All right, so we got a banger on this one, and I just wanted to have a chat with you on this video. But before you do, hit that sub and bell so you don't miss any more videos like this, and so you can stay ahead of the crowd. And if you want to further support the channel, be sure to join the YouTube membership where it's less than a cup of coffee per month. But let's go ahead and just dive into the topic here. So if you're brand new to VeVe and you're really not quite sure what to do or how to invest, and even if you are a savvy investor, maybe you forgot kind of the path forward. So I wanted to talk about the collectibles on the app. So we'll be talking about brand new first. So let's start there. If you are brand new to the app and you're looking at these collectibles and not sure what to do, the best performing collectibles are going to be those ones that are the most popular: the Batman, Supermans, the Black Panther, Spider-Man, Marvel Comics #1, and even the common covers and variants, as well as different rarities there. So you have to look at the historical importance of these collectibles, the very first appearances, not only as a appearance on the app, but a first appearance as an NFT period, like the very first Batman, the very first Superman. Now we are currently in a dip phase on the VeVe app, and the market has absolutely dropped for many different reasons. MTL, speculation, there's been the economy as a whole, and the Fed, and many other reasons. And this is a perfect time to pick up collectibles, or at least a perfect time to analyze the market to make a better entry. And even if the market goes down, I can't imagine it would go down much further. And I've seen the market move sideways, so this potentially could show me some price discovery level. And I potentially think that we may have reached a bottom, and hopefully we won't dip anymore. But this would be a great time for new people coming into the app to get into those premium collectibles, and those are the ones that make the biggest moves. And as the collectors are taking profits or maybe waiting for the market to go back up, we're going to notice, more and more whales get into those premium collectibles. And I think that the trend also is going to correlate as well into the physical side. As you see behind me, I have the Todd McFarlane statue with the comic as well. So I think this is going to play out on a second, other whole level outside of the VeVe app, where you could potentially make money there. So, but with that being said, moving back into the app and talking about the app, we'll be talking about more ways, like the comics that drop, making sure you do the research as which comics are currently dropping, and also what importance do they mean. So if you're only spending 6 or 7 gems on a drop, or maybe somebody is, quote unquote, having paper hands in the secondary market, potentially you could make a lot of money from someone else's mistake or getting it off the drop. If it is a significant drop, let's say like, Fantastic Four #5, and what I'm just using that as an example. But if that comic dropped, obviously it would make, a lot of money for you, and potentially it could be a chance to snipe in the secondary market as well. But some of those are going to be very good pickups for the long run, of course, as well. And there's going to be opportunities for you to also get into these premium collectibles when the market dips. And when we notice these drops that come in the future, maybe I'm not saying Gundam's going to drop or Pokemon, but if brands like that did drop, these older collectibles will dip, and that's also another great time to come back and pick up some of those collectibles due to the new brand or new drop that has been announced or is going to drop. That is definitely going to cause a gem squeeze. And yes, those older collectibles may suffer, but long run, they will perform very well. And I think that that could be a potential strategy for people that don't necessarily care about getting the new drops, unless you are, a master collector and you're high level and you have a lot of, points that you can put in the lottery. But if you don't, this could be a strategy that is very good for new people coming into the app, where they know they're not necessarily going to get a new drop, or at least if they they can still do the new drop. And if they don't get it, no big deal, because we're already looking at these older collectibles that have already been proven and already have significant historical importance and will continue to do well long term. And so there's a lot less worry in managing your portfolio that way. So that's always a good opportunity to get into those collectibles. And I think that's good for even advanced users that have been on the app for a while and maybe forgot about that strategy. But I could see that being a long-term easy strategy to do. And also for, people that have been on the app for a while, not forgetting that there's the Master Collectors program, and you'll, have those Master Collectors points to put into the lottery as well. So I think it's definitely going to balance itself out. I think people are going to, hopefully hodl their collectibles and not forget about those Master Collectors points, because when we do get big drops and big announcements, you will need to hopefully have some points set aside to hopefully have a higher chance of getting that drop, if it is like a Gundam or a Pokemon or Dragon Ball or whatever, right? We don't know that those brands are coming or anything like that, but we can just speculate on the future of obviously how big the drops have been in the past and how much bigger they could be in the future. So with that being said, those are all the kind of ways you can get involved in the app, and especially if you're new. Now, you may be asking, like, maybe what's under 100 gems. Comics are a very easy place to go and look and see what comics are performing very well or have historical importance, because a lot of times you can pick up common covers for relatively cheap. And in the future, when they unlock the Omi utility program, there's going to be, people burning, collectibles or comics and reducing the supply of that specific either cover or collectible. So it's going to be important to actually go ahead and pick up some of these commons. The commons I'm looking at is like Black Panther or, some of these premium collectibles that have good meaning and good value, because, we are in today's time where culture has definitely shifted. And especially looking at the Black Panther movie, I did a whole video on how it really performed very well at the box office. The number 3 movie like all time. It absolutely just destroyed the box office, did very well. And I just think that is going to be a good trend to look at and take serious. But also Spider-Man, looking at some of those collectibles as well. A lot of them have dropped down, and I do believe that Spider-Man, the very first Spider-Man NFT, will do very well. So with that being said, there's always good options out there. I do actually do a lot of streams, and we take a look at the market conditions. And I did one to actually today, depending on when you're watching this video, where I analyzed the entire VeVe market and showed you, we went over all the blue chips and even the sub blue chips or whatever, or I guess, B-level collectibles and C-level collectibles. And so we went through all the different rarities and different collectibles that were good ones to find. There's still the Batman black and white collectibles that people are sleeping on, and they pumped up recently, but they still have declined quite a bit. You're talking about the Penguins, the Nightwings, all the Batman black and white are pretty good collectibles to get into, considering the historical importance of those collectibles. Now, some of them aren't going to be like the most popular characters of all time, but I do believe that, the first appearance of, DC characters is a big deal, especially when it comes to Batman being one of the most successful franchises or brands or intellectual properties or whatever you want to call it in history, right? If you look at the top 25, I do believe Batman is up there. So with that being said, taking a look at stuff like that, it takes 2 seconds to research those brands and see which brands are like on the very top, right? Obviously Disney is up there, and they have bought Star Wars. Those collectibles will obviously do really well if you have the gems to do it. But this is mainly for new people coming into the app, always taking part in the drops. You can't make the shots that you don't take, so you might as well participate in every single drop that you can, because one of those drops you could land and it could potentially, change your life, or be the first, part where you can take profits and accumulate some gems and move to the next drop and start flipping to where maybe you want to get the collectibles you like, or you want to actually build a real portfolio. And so those are all the easy, methods and strategies that I would tell somebody that was brand new coming into the app, because I know this works. You know, I've taught this to my own family, and they have won drops and been able to flip and accumulate gems, and then they either move to the next drop or invest into a collectible that is undervalued, and that collectible then goes up in value, and they can flip and go and keep doing the same thing over and over and over. And that is how the long game is won. And also it is won by, you know, when you do have enough gems, when you get up there to those higher levels, is to invest into like the proven ones, like I mentioned, you know, the Batmans, the Supermans, the Spider-Mans, the Black Panthers. I do believe that Black Panther is going to reach that level, whether people think it or not. I personally think it will. That's just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Nothing I say is, obviously, but I do think some of those collectibles, you know, as the MCU develops, matures, and they continue to release a lot of content, it is literally a content machine. I do believe some of those superheroes can have definitely a good chance of working their way up there. And that is something I'm also looking at superheroes that, you know, have different character and they are new to the MCU or newer, and people absolutely love it, like the Miles Morales Spider-Man. I definitely am taking a look at that. I loved the movie that came out, the anime. It was super amazing. I do expect Marvel to do like a Spider-Verse, and I believe they are anyways, but I mean more of like an actual build a Spider-Verse and really, you know, really hit home with that, or whatever you want to say, and really expand upon that, especially with everything being a metaverse play these days. I could literally see them doing something cool like that with all the different versions of Spider-Man. But yeah, so those are the things that I'm kind of speculating on in the future as well. And that's a good thing to do is, you know, if you do see Marvel making a movie on a certain superhero, it is always a good idea to maybe take a look at possibly collecting that before, you know, the news gets out. And so that's what kind of comic collectors do already. They notice movies coming out and they'll bring up the comic for that superhero and say, oh yeah, this comic might go up in value. And that's kind of the same strategy with VeVe. And, you know, not only collecting that actual superhero, but if it has a, you know, a variant in the physical, it's always a good idea to maybe look at the physical. If it is a actual super valuable collectible, then you might make money in the physical as well. And I see that being a trend. You know, Andre Jick, I saw him tweet about that, and you know, he's got a way bigger following than I do. But you know, I've been saying it for a while, which is hence why I have the Todd on my shelf with the 9.8 comic right there. But I do believe that's going to be a macro trend in the entire NFT space as time goes on. People will literally make toys for those NFTs or collectibles, and I've already seen comics being dropped in the NFT space, independent comics. But I do see that being kind of a macro trend in the NFT space. You know, the collecting, not only people want to collect digitally, but they want to collect physically as well. And I think that will continue to be a trend. But I know that video was long. I had a lot to say there, but I wanted to make sure that I cover all the bases. And if you have any more questions, if you are new, if you have anything, just comment down below, and I will take a look at every single one of your comments and possibly do a video if you want me to talk about something else. If you are new coming into the app, because I want to do a video and make sure I get you guys hooked up with the right strategies that are proven, that, you know, whales use, that, you know, strategies that I use to really build my portfolio and, you know, build my portfolio for the future, so I can also get those future drops as well. But with that being said, smash the like if you enjoyed the video, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video at the blockchain. And be like an NFT, be authentic, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.